Hey, She Slayers, this is a special sample cut from this week's episode. If you find this interesting, be sure to make time to go listen to the entire episode released this past Sunday. And please be sure to help a girl out and follow or subscribe to this podcast.
But we never sell Bitcoin.
Yes, you never sell
So
your Bitcoin.
is this like one of those things where like, yep, your Ethereum, like sure, you can buy a pizza
Mhm.
for whatever Ethereum, but we are not doing that with our Bitcoin, right? Like we don't,
Well, you can technically do that with Bitcoin. You can technically do that
but
with
you
the
would not ever.
so okay. It's two things. I'm thinking about how to answer this question from the standpoint of how the OG crypto or the OG Bitcoiners will want me to answer this question, right? Okay, never sell your Bitcoin if you are viewing Bitcoin as a multi-generational wealth building tool. Never sell it, right? But Bitcoin was created as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. So
Right.
Satoshi, the creator, wanted us to use it as a form of money. So in the future, we're more than likely to see a law passed that allows individuals to be able to use Bitcoin to buy things without having to pay capital gains on that. Right now, if you were to use Bitcoin to buy something, let's say Bitcoin has increased in value. If you use Bitcoin to buy something, it's going to trigger a capital gain because it's appreciated in value and you are selling it. So you have to pay
Mm,
taxes on the gain of that
okay.
asset. With stable coins, the US dollar, because it doesn't increase or decrease in value, when you are using US dollar tokens to buy things, there's no taxable transaction when that happens. So because of that, you are disincentivized from using Bitcoin for transactions. But over the next year or two, more than likely, they will have a de minimis amount. Maybe you can use up to $10,000 of your Bitcoin a year, and you will not have to pay capital gains tax on it, right? Or maybe $600 per transaction, no more than $600 per transaction. You won't have to pay capital gains tax. When that happens, you're going to see people possibly spending their Bitcoin. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, the Bitcoin network is better and stronger when people use the network for transactions.
Okay. Gosh,
Yes.
the US government and Federal Reserve has got to hate this.
Yes, they hated it for a very long time, tried to say that it is a network that scammy people use. It's used for illicit activities. It's the black market. People should stay away from it. And people just, were embracing this. So they try to paint it as a horrible thing. Why? Because they can control it, right? The US government cannot say, oh, we want to take over the Bitcoin network and we are going to decide who gets the Bitcoin, or we're going to decide if we want to create more Bitcoin. No one controls Bitcoin. They can't. So, in essence, yes, they don't like it. However, this current administration has flipped their posture. They are now pro crypto, pro Bitcoin. You might be wondering why. It's a little bit of a long story, but let me make it short. The prior administration was somewhat hostile to crypto. So this administration wanted to posture against the prior administration by saying, oh, you know what? We are pro crypto. Why did they flip to pro crypto? In 2019, Trump posted on Twitter and said Bitcoin is used for illegal and nefarious activities. I don't like Bitcoin. I prefer the dollar. That was a tweet that Trump put out. 2024, he said, I'm going to make America the crypto capital of the world. What changed? He found out that 50 million, 50 million individuals in the US hold crypto. And he's like, oh, those are voters. There are people who could possibly vote for me. So all of a sudden, he became pro crypto and he has shifted half of his net worth into the crypto space. So right now, in the coming years or decades, the, in quotes, Trump family will be half real estate, half crypto. That is quite
Wow.
shocking and telling. And when I say shocking, not shocking in necessarily a negative way, it's shocking because I don't think people are paying attention to what's happening. It's really it's a big deal. Now, for individuals who are listening who, let's call it, might not like Trump, and which is understandable. We live in a world where it's like kind of 50-50. Half of the people like him, half of the people don't like him. I don't want you to associate Bitcoin with Trump, or I don't want you to associate crypto with Trump. Remember, Bitcoin was started in 2008, October, right? Bitcoin doesn't need any administration. And also, administrations just last 4 years.
I know, but do you worry then about the next administration? So what if the next administration just wants to posture against Trump? Like, there's a lot of laws that could change and flip, right?
Phenomenal question. So let's play it out in terms of next administration. So this administration is very pro crypto. Let's assume that we are still around 50 million people hold crypto. Right now, they are pushing crypto into the financial system, right? Tying it to the dollar. It's going to be in 401ks and investment accounts. 2 days ago, they announced that government data like GDP, unemployment will now be listed on blockchains as verifiable proof. So they are going to do all of these things over the next 4 years, give and take, to integrate the economy with crypto in a way that's going to be very difficult to kind of unravel. Let's even assume that another administration wanted to posture against crypto. In 4 years, we're going to go from 50 million people hold Bitcoin and crypto to maybe 125 million. Because people are going to see that this thing increases in value. I'm going to buy it. So now you're going to have 125 million or 130 million Americans who hold crypto assets. Lauren, you tell me, if you owned crypto assets and you've seen your wealth double over the next 4 years, and a president was running, doesn't matter if it's your favorite president, maybe Oprah is running in 2028, right? I would vote for her.
She's going to get in the way of me and my wealth building.
But if Oprah said, I am going to ban
all of
Bitcoin,
America's going to turn Republican.
Yes, I'm not going to vote
real
for
fast.
I'm not going to vote for you. I'm sorry. I like you, but I'm not going to vote for you. So in essence, I'm trying to say that when there's a financial incentive, right? That's why, even though Trump, not to get into politics, is a Republican, he couldn't say, I'm going to get rid of Social Security. I'm going to get rid of Medicare. Because you cannot touch people's money. That's the thing that you don't want to do. So in the same way, if we go from 50 million Americans to like 100 or 125, anyone who wants to be president in 2028, they will be pro-crypto. And it's not a matter of if they want to, they will be forced to, because they are not going to get the votes if they are not.
Yeah, it's like crypto has, have you ever read Malcolm Gladwell's Tipping Point?
Tipping Point,
Yeah.
I've seen
So
it.
it's like crypto, I don't know when it happened, but it definitely has become so mainstream accepted that, you
Yeah,
can't.
imagine they just approved for Bitcoin and crypto assets to be allowed in retirement accounts. So 401ks. So think about it. Like, which person is running for president saying, I'm going to like derail your 401k?
Right.
It's going to be very difficult. One subtle thing that I want to share also is, right now, Bitcoin is about $100,000, right? Give and take 110, but let's say 100,000. There's estimates that we could see Bitcoin get to 1 million by 2030 or 2033.
That is not that far from now.
It's not. Some financial institutions believe 2029. But let's just say ballpark 2030, 100K to 1 million. When Bitcoin gets to $1 million, the largest group of millionaires in the world will be Bitcoiners. So I want you to think about that for a moment. The people who have the most money in the world at that time are Bitcoiners. Rich people are the ones who fund government. So you can play the game theory through different like routes, and it all lands to the same point. Everyone will be pro Bitcoin and pro crypto because there is no reason to be anti it. It just helps everyone who pushes in that direction. You were talking about a financial advisor at the beginning of this. You said Edward Jones. Currently, Edward Jones, outside of ETFs, I don't even know if they allow ETFs. Outside of ETFs, they will not allow financial advisors to recommend crypto assets to clients. Right?
That's another reason I just love. We'll just add it to the list of reasons that I use Edward Jones as like a joke multiple times a week.
They don't allow it. But at a certain point, they are going to realize that the companies that are taking in clients and putting their money into crypto assets, those companies are growing faster than Edward Jones. So at a certain point, Edward Jones will be like, no. We need to embrace this. Not because they wanted to. All incentives align everyone who owns Bitcoin or crypto assets because it's like everyone benefits. That's the really cool thing about this technology. It treats everyone the same. If you ignore it and say, "Oh, I'm not pro crypto. I'm never buying Bitcoin." Coinbase was just added to the S&P 500 2-3 months ago. So even people who are anti-crypto own crypto. They just don't.
You don't even know. If you have money in the S&P, you own crypto.
You own crypto. So it's so fascinating. Everything is aligned to crypto dominating.